Welcome you all, here is Danny. I'm back to Poland after my trip to Iceland, which was just great. The weather was so pretty windy there, but after the Blue Lagoon Challenge MTB race, I'm able now to tell you much more about my new racing weapon, and this is the Merida 96-9 team. I've done so far, I've made just around 200 kilometers on the tarmac only on this bike, then 50 kilometers on trainings through some gravel roads, and then 60 kilometers race called Blue Lagoon Challenge through the lava fields. It was amazing, but quite rainy. Now, if something doesn't fit you on the bike, you will feel that on the race when you are really like grasping for some air. You will feel it. So what I felt on this bike, I'm gonna share with you. 96, that's the models range for Merida of full suspension bikes with the 96 millimeters of travel in the rear. 9, that means 29er, so we've got a big wheel here. There is also a 7 version, which is 27.5, but also this bike, even the 9 model, is the size specific, so those smaller frames will have 27.5 wheels and 14 millimeters of travel more in the rear. And then team, that's the highest version possible, which I'm delighted to use, but I really I'm gonna push harder to be just better cyclist and be just in the top form, top shape this year. So this is the initial review. I'm gonna give you all the details when I'm updating you with my gears as normally on my episodes. And here's what I think about this bike. First, efficiency. So if you were to remember just one word about this bike, is the efficiency. And second, it's gonna steal some more riders, not only cross-country and MTB marathons oriented. Why? Let me share with you just in a second. So we have here Merida the 96 team version. That means CF5 carbon fiber 5 frame, which is the lightest one. You can also buy the lower version with CF4 front triangle and same swing arm, and then also CF4 front triangle alloy swing arm, and finally the aluminum version. So this is the highest one, and it weighs 10.01 in the Merida catalog, and same on my scale. So that is a good thing about this bike. Large frame with my bottle cage, with different handlebar and with bar ends, and the mount for my Garmin, not Garmin, I used to have Garmin, now I have the Mio, and my just very budget and pretty heavy M520 Shimano pedals. That's 10.7, around between 6 and 10.6 10.7 kilos. So what I think about the bike, what it's got. It has the RS1 fork in the front. There is lots of things I have to share with you, and you need to know before you even use it, otherwise you will just damage it. It has RockShox Monarch in the rear, both connected to the X-Lock, so you can just go with fully lockout suspension with just one push. It works fine, very fine, I like it. We've got simple one pivot design in the rear, so we have one pivot right here, and the whole wheel is just being moved around this axle here, so there's no additional pivot on the chainstays. And then we have a linkage, so we have a rocker here. It's carbon 1 and it's carbon for all the bikes, CF5 and CF4. 96 millimeters of travel in the rear is just enough, even if you ride hard, which I do very often. I love those downhills, but I'm gonna do another episode about some misconceptions about full suspension bike, when they really help. That's gonna be interesting. We've got the SRAM XX1 Eagle drivetrain. Lots of things to tell about it, so it will be also in the another episode. And then we've got DT Swiss XR 1501 wheels, super good, and the SRAM level ultimate brakes. So, what I think about the bike. I've changed the handlebars, so it's no longer carbon from Merida. It's my alloy KCNC and the bar ends. The original Merida, I didn't want to cut it. That's the first thing. And second, it's not bar ends compatible. So I'm running this setup with just 60 centimeters of the width. We've got carbon seat post in the rear and my own San Marco Aspide saddle with the cutout. So, details, that's something I love about the bike. Cable routing is something I just pay so much attention to. I'm just gonna come closer here and explain all that to you. This bike has mechanical group set so far, but it's Di2 compatible if you would like to have it. I maybe wouldn't, but it's compatible. You can have a dropper post, you have the lockout for the rear shock, and you can have also front derailleur. So all the routing comes with just 2 ports in the head tube. I would actually call it a head box. It is pretty large and robust. No rattling, so no rattling really. If there was any place for the cables to rattle, that would be that bumpy lava field. Absolutely no problems with that. And we have the side pull here port for the front derailleur, so you can go 2x11, 2x10 if you want, which is really cool. So this is the thing I like. Rear suspension, it is really efficient. It doesn't bother you when you are pedaling, and as you can see during that Blue Lagoon Challenge race, those guys who have taken hardtails thinking to have advantage on the tarmac, because there was some tarmac section, they were really struggling on the lava fields where I would just sit on my saddle and pedal, which is so cool about the bike. If you look at the paint, it has the matte black with some green and white decals paint, but here in the middle section you can see that the carbon fiber, all those sheets are just exposed. You can see those, and it looks so cool. I like it a lot. Wheels are super high quality. The wheels can just spin endlessly, so those bearings are super cool. We have a boost system in the rear, and I already saw some of your comments about the boost system, that it's just some BS, marketing BS. I would say if you have a stronger wheel in the rear, because it's wider, right, so 148 millimeters, you need to have a robust rear triangle, and this bike has it. So even though it's full suspension, it has a robust rear triangle, the swing arm, it's really stiff laterally, and it works so fine. So full lockout on the tarmac, and it felt so great. I've done like 100 kilometers against the wind on the bike, on this bike, on the tarmac only, so it tells you something. RS1, there will be another episode, as I said, but so far it's not really stiff torsionally, and I don't like it in these terms. Comparing to my lefty crushes this with the stiffness, but this one is super plush and sensitive. So if you know how to run the right setup of your front and rear suspension, you can really go smoothly, especially for those marathon races. It will be really good setup, so think about that. The SRAM level ultimate brakes are very strong, and I would say these are quite quiet. I didn't have any squeaking noises so far, which I'm happy with. Tires are Maxxis Icon. These are good for the hard pack, and I would say pretty fast rolling, but I would like to have something stronger. These sidewalls are so thin and so I think the rolling resistance is really good on these tires, but I would be afraid to cut, especially the sidewall. There is also version, I think it's called the EXO version of these Icon tires, a bit heavier but stronger. I would go for that. No problem so far on the lava field as well, but I'm just telling you, when I was going tubeless with these tires felt in my hands like just nothing. And now, SRAM Eagle 1x12. What can I say? Two things. Outstanding performance in terms of the chain engagement, and second, I don't need 12 gears, so it's not the range I need the right cadence. So 1x12 drivetrain is not for me. I would say both for cross-country and marathon races, it's just not my choice. The quality of it. Look at the at those pulleys on the rear derailleur. All just really well thought out. So the chain on this cassette feels awesome. The change of the gears is wonderful, but I'm not shooting for the range. I was struggling to find the right cadence, especially on the tarmac. But when we are racing on some flat gravel sections, some single tracks even, we go easily over 30 kilometers per hour, and then some gears like in between would be very, very helpful. So instead of having cadence 80 or 100, you would have 90, which is just ideal. So that's something I would think about. So I love the efficiency of this bike, how fast and stiff it is. It feels just great. The RockShox RS, not everyone will like it, especially those heavy riders. And now, whom is it for? Cross-country racers, for sure. Marathon races as well. But I would say, and I will make an episode about it, many trail riders who do like also going up the hill, not only having fun down the hill, but also doing lots of climbs and wanting to have fun there, will find just 96 millimeters of travel in the rear still pretty fun, and it helps a lot on those drops. It works so well. So trail riders, just wait for my another episode, just somewhere on the technical terrain. I will show you how this thing works. So far, this is my opinion about Merida 96.9 team, and now I'm gonna just make some strong legs for such an outstanding bike. Thanks for watching. If you have any further questions, put those in the comments. I'm gonna answer all of this at least for the first 2 days after publishing this episode. I'm gonna see you soon. Bye bye.